Stress is linked to the 6 leading causes of death: heart disease, cancer, lung ailments, accidents, cirrhosis of the liver, and suicide. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people for better health. Having stress and dealing with it are actually 2 different things. What some people might call excitement, others might be extremely afraid of and consider it stress. Roller coaster riding used to be great fun for me, but now I think about having my body whisked up just to be dropped back down again just simply doesn't make sense. I've never engaged in what some people might consider fun sports like rock climbing, bungee diving, and some of the other things that people do for fun. I actually consider extremely stressful. Well, I've never been really one to do a lot of sports. I like to sit and watch football, but other than that, my garden is my sport. So learning relaxation techniques can help offset the stress we find in our daily lives, and also by taking nutritional supplements that help the nervous system. When I do gardening, I even like weeding because it's such a sense of accomplishment when you weed and plant, and then you can step back and admire what you've done and watch those plants grow. It's very heartwarming and beneficial thing for me. But there are many kinds of stress. There's physical stress, like the sports that we've been talking about, or yard work, using the muscles that you didn't even know you had until they were sore. For these, topical treatments can be helpful, like we have Typhu lotion that really works well on the muscles to help them relax and to feel better, and also to calm down inflammation. Yesterday in my Herbal E-gram, I talked about cortisol. You can find my E-gram on my website. It's listed under newsletters. So this is what you would see when you go to my website, and you simply go over here, click on the newsletters, and you'll see the most recent E-gram. But cortisol and the other stress hormones of epinephrine and norepinephrine respond when we perceive something as stressful. They're there to help us fight or flight. So if we stand and fight, it takes those hormones as stimulants to get our blood going and, rev us up. And also to run. So if you're sitting driving in a car and somebody cuts you off and it scares you, those same hormones will respond. But you have no place to run and you can't stand and fight. So what happens is it creates inflammation in the body. So sometimes you say, wow, I'm so stressed. But if you look at it and said instead, wow, that was stressful, and maybe you screamed or, did something, pounded on your wheel. My husband loves to pound on his horn. But, it's some way of getting rid of that inflammatory stress hormones that are shooting through your body. If we catch the words that we say, we actually can lessen the impact on our bodies when we perceive stress. So blaming it instead of internalizing it can be helpful. When we exacerbate the stress with emotions, like we're already in a state of fear or worry, we multiply the concern. Stress can actually be a good thing. If you have a rubber band, unless that rubber band is stretched, which is stress, it's useless. So stress can be a way for us to get things done. For example, if I'm having guests over, the stress of that thought of that event will help me clean my house, help me get my dinner organized so that I can have it all on the table at the same time. And it's a good thing. However, if I compound it and I start thinking, oh my goodness, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? And I start getting all emotionally wound up in it, which is taking up time, and we're not getting anything done. When we do that, it creates like this auger that goes down and down and actually can put us in a depressed state to the point where we actually don't even want them to come over because we're overwhelmed. But try to catch yourself before you get into that state. So that's part of emotional stress. We'll continue talking about that. The whole month of May, we're going to discuss different types of stress and how we could counter them. I want to talk about thermal stress because it's a stress that not many people think about. In Michigan right now, we're really going through a transitional period. Some days it can go as high as 70. This morning it was 39. So if you don't dress in layers and are able to, when it gets warmer, take a layer off, then you are subject to stressing the body out temperature-wise. That's called thermal stress. So your body likes to be 98.6 on the inside. And so if we're chilled, the body will create goosebumps or make us shiver, and that activates the skin to help the circulation to keep us warm. Adversely, if we're too hot, we'll sweat. When the sweat cools off or comes to the surface, the air will take that sweat and that cools us off. So if we go out in 40-degree weather with shorts and a t-shirt, that's not healthy. That lowers our immune response. And if we're already dealing with fear or worry or concern of some sort, then we can make our immune system susceptible to any infection that comes along, like a cold or flu or whatever. And then, we'll blame it on somebody who came and visited and had a cough or whatever. So if you counter these with taking a B supplement, now my favorite is Nutricalm. I've been using that with clients for 40-some years. It's an absolutely wonderful supplement. So it says here, prolonged stress significantly impacts and contributes to a myriad of health problems, including the development of cardiovascular disease and diabetes, certain immune disorders, gastrointestinal problems, and deficits in memory and cognitive health. Well, none of us want to have brain issues for sure. But if you think about that, that's central nervous system, and it needs nutrition to keep it healthy. Other things such as emotional upset, environmental causes like all the toxins that we talked about in April. And if you're pregnant, that's stressful. Surgery, these can all be stressful, including poor diet and lifestyle choices. So taking a supplement every day, most people will take 3, sometimes 4 if they're overstressed, of Nutricalm, and they will actually help their body with a banquet of B vitamins. Now, a lot of people think that B12 is really important, but if you take an individual B vitamin like B12 or B6, you can actually short yourself of other B vitamins. So it's always wise to take a banquet of B vitamins so that the body can select what it needs. Now, generally speaking, your urine's going to show up yellow because, much like my sign here, and that's okay because you're giving your body what it needs. So along with the B vitamins and C, which helps in the uptake of B vitamins, there's lovely herbs in here. So there's valerian, there's schisandra, there's passion flower, and hops. These all help to contribute to supporting the nervous system in a healthy way. Now, if you're enjoying what you're hearing in my Health to Home, just click on the heart, and I will, Facebook will help me promote these videos. I think of these as coaching classes, and oftentimes we need to remember and to have a reminder that we can heal. Our body has the ability to heal. We just have to get it in motion. So share these videos with other people, and especially those that you love, and take your supplements yourself. During these videos, I recommend different things, and if you are interested in them, you can find them in the link where it says buy tickets. But basically, it's a click to the website Nature Sunshine has, and you can purchase the supplements that I've recommended. And one of them that I recommend frequently is not really even a supplement. It's called Distress Remedy. Now, Distress Remedy is a liquid energy medicine. So it helps to raise the vibrations of the body to help you deal with stress. And it works for all kinds of stress. So instead of running to the cabinet and taking your antidepressant, which we know has risk factors, take some Distress Remedy. There's also a wonderful product that Sunshine has that I've used for clients and recommended it frequently, and it's called Anxiousless. Now, Anxiousless is a situational anxiety supplement. So you take it when you're feeling anxious, when there's something like test anxiety, or you're going to give a lecture, and it helps you calm down. Anxiety is a natural emotional response to a perceived threat, which can be beneficial in certain circumstances, like I mentioned with the dinner. However, anxiety that is persistent, excessive, and uncomfortable is unhealthy, especially when it negatively affects a person's daily life. So if it actually stops you from doing things, it creates this stuck position, then Anxiousless will help move you through it. Usually people take 2 in the morning and then they're done. It helps to keep them going. Sometimes people need to take another one in the afternoon. It depends on the individual. It's totally non-toxic and you're not going to get addicted to it. So it's a wonderful supplement that can help reduce your need for anti-anxiety medication. There's a lot of functional medical doctors that are using supplements like this to help their clients because they have seen what these anti-anxiety medications can do. They're not helping people the way they wanted to when they got into medical school. They had to learn all the stuff that medical school provides, which unfortunately a great deal of it is written by Big Pharma, and so they know a lot about medications, a lot about surgery, and know little about nutrition. So a lot of the medical doctors go into what they call functional medicine. Now you can find a functional medical doctor in your area by going to ifm.org and find a functional medical doctor that will be open for you taking supplements and finding better ways of dealing with your concerns. Now, Saturday I did a class at Unity Church of Royal Oak, and it was titled Emotional Pain is Physical. Our emotions impact our health more than we realize. In every chronic disease, there's an emotional component. And if we treated every one of those with anxiety medications, that's unfortunate, or pain medications, that's unfortunately where we are in the United States with this opioid epidemic, that we want to just numb our pain. And that's not going to fix it. We have to go through the pain. So I hope to have that up on my website, bornforhealth.com, and then you can listen to that. And if you want the handouts for any of my classes, send me an email. I'll be happy to send those PDFs to you. So we don't want to shove down our emotions. We want to recognize them, what we're feeling, and then how can we do better by them? So Louise Hay has been around for such a long time, and she has wonderful advice. So these are just two of the books that she has. She has podcasts and wonderful information about creating affirmations. Now, if you can't say to yourself, I am happy, then ask it in a question form. What would it feel like if I was happy and accepted by those who I love? You know, you can't really expect to have other people love you until you love yourself. So that's the first thing you have to work with, is how can you respect and love yourself? And that's called boundaries. Creating boundaries is done by having respect for yourself and then loving yourself. One of the ways you can do that is to create a safe space for you to work on decreasing stress and doing some medication. Use some essential oils like lavender, or one of the ones I love is called Refuge. Refuge Blend is a combination of wonderful relaxing herbs like lavender, orange, atlas cedar, lang lang, blue tansy, and vanilla. So it smells wonderful, and it's blended for calming the effects of stress and anxiety. So it's specific for that. What I like to do is I like to blend it with the distress remedy and make a spray out of it, and then shake it up and spray the room. And then I create a space where I can do some meditation and learning how to love and be loved. It does take work, and it can take as little as 5 minutes or a half hour. It depends on you, but do spend some time every day. Set a timer and make the time to help improve your ability to handle stress. Last month I talked with you about Brene Brown, and Brene is really fun to listen to. She's got wonderful YouTube videos. She's been on TED Talks and Oprah Winfrey and just a bunch of media. And she has such wise suggestions for people. And one of the things she does recommend is to create boundaries. Now, the way you create boundaries is to understand what you like and what you don't like. You know, what you find acceptable for people and what isn't acceptable for people to do. A lot of times we've been bullied even as children, and we accept that as a fact of life, but there's no excuse for bullying. Bullying is not the way to get things done. Now, if you're in a marriage and there isn't respect for each other, you might need to work on that. And so one of the ways you can do that is with the Flower Essence Find Strength. Find Strength is a flower essence formula designed for people who struggle with a lack of confidence and a tendency to repress feelings of anger, powerlessness, and emotional insecurity. So you stuff down these emotions and you just kind of embroil. But that doesn't fix things. What you need to do is find the courage to express in a kind way how you're feeling, how it makes you feel when something is done, and change the way things are in your life. So I have 3 things that I'm going to share with you out of 10 that we'll go through the month discovering. And the first is to name your limits. Consider what you can tolerate and accept and what makes you feel uncomfortable or stressed. Pick 3 that you find the most unacceptable and work on those. Get inquisitive. Find out, why do these things bother me so much? Be a detective. If you're curious about your reactions, which is, so first you find out what's happening. The second one is you're curious about why you're responding the way you're responding. And then when you're in the moment of that uncomfortable feeling, step back. Between stimulus and response, there's pause. You need to lengthen the time you're in pause. And that's when you create, why am I feeling this bad about this? Why has that pushed my button? Then you can go forward and say, well, that's because when I was young, and you can negate some of the strength of that emotion and lessen the impact of it. And the more you do it, the less that trigger becomes an issue. The third thing is, some people love to debate. They just love to argue for the sense of arguing, and just don't buy in. If that's not what you like and it makes you uncomfortable, I'm personally not fond of confrontation unless there's something that I feel is important, that I need to express how I feel. But to argue for the sake of argument, oh, please. I'm totally not a politician because of that. So agree to disagree for now. It doesn't have to be forever, but right now, because when there is a heated discussion, more times than not, you're going to say something that you wish you could take back. So just agree so that you can have some peaceful coexistence. Just say to the person, let's put a pin in that right now and come back to it some other time, because I respect you. So I've included some herbs today in our talk, but next week I want to talk more about how herbs can help the nervous system and de-stress our body. I do hope you join me in next Tuesday's Dr. Mary's Health to Home at 10:30. If you want to contact me about personal things, it's Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com, and I'll be happy to help you. So I want to leave you with 3 action steps in today's message. So, number 1, be curious about your emotions. Number 2, create a diary. You can do it easily on your cell phone. Mark down your thoughts, how you feel about what happened, what was the trigger. and take some flower essences to help you through them. Move that energy. Don't get stuck in it, and don't create an auger where you have a difficult time moving up through it. Each time you do, it will become easier. So keep focusing on good choices for better health. Thank you for viewing for today, and please share these messages with others who may need it. This is Dr. Mary. Until next week, for the health of it.